Hello, I'm Crystal Hentz, and in this video, I'll be walking you through and discussing the fourth topic on the grant, Innovative Rehabilitation, a Comprehensive Approach. Topic 4's title is Dual Customer Engagement and Service Delivery. The Topic 4 study team is made up of the following 4 individuals who are all employed at Virginia Commonwealth University's Rehabilitation Research and Training Center. Alyssa Brooke, Whitney Ham, myself, Crystal Hentz, and Jennifer McDonough. Understanding the project background for Topic 4. When deciding on Topic 4, our team leveraged existing research as a launchpad to introduce something truly innovative to the field. On this slide, there is a list of 6 citations. Each of these citations reference research that has been done within our center in order to determine the best practices needed to assist individuals with disabilities to find and maintain competitive, integrated employment within their communities. The first study listed by McDonough and colleagues shows us that leadership within a business has an impact on businesses that have a history of hiring individuals with disabilities. Leaders within these organizations create an environment that looks to hire people from various backgrounds while also creating a culture that models inclusivity from the top down. Studies 2 through 4 explain the importance of the role service providers play in their relationships with businesses and people with disabilities. Service providers, including both vocational rehabilitation counselors and employment specialists or job coaches, must properly support both the employer and the employee during the 4 phases of supported employment. A successful supported employment case requires the service provider to be responsive and dependable to both the employer and the employee that they have helped secure employment for. These studies also show how service providers wear many different hats in order to implement supported employment and customized employment services with fidelity. However, Study 5 gives evidence that VR professionals do not receive adequate training and support when doing their job. This is a problem because if the service provider is unable to provide SC and CE services to fidelity while supporting both the employer and the individual with a disability, it can jeopardize the individual with a disability securing a job that aligns with their skill set, interests, or preferences, while simultaneously missing an opportunity to connect with an employer within the local community. Study 6 also shows us that individuals with complex and support needs benefit from SE and CE services in order to gain employment. In order to increase better outcomes for individuals receiving SE and CE services, it's critical for service providers to understand they have a dual relationship, serving both the employer and the individual with a disability, or the employee. The research shows that service providers wear many hats, but lack the proper training to balance both customers, the employers, and the consumers. Topic Study 4 is seeking to build VR capacity and comfort within this dual customer engagement and service delivery model. Topic 4 has 5 objectives that we are using to build capacity for VR and employers. Develop a toolkit for employers on best practices for hiring individuals with disabilities. Produce a toolkit for VR professionals on building community partnerships, networking with employers, and demonstrating benefits of partnering with VR agencies. Construct toolkits for service providers, educators, and VR professionals for preparing and supporting a 21st century workforce. Build the capacity of VR and employment professionals to support individuals with IDD and employers. Support VR and employment professionals to build lasting and beneficial relationships with employers. Understanding the targeted outcomes for Topic Study 4. Through our 5 objectives, the targeted outcomes are as follows: to develop resources that are accessible and available to employers, to increase the awareness of services to support hiring, to increase community outreach so that employers have more awareness of resources and supports available for hiring individuals with disabilities, to help service providers feel a higher level of comfort with business engagement. We plan to build knowledge of how to prepare job seekers to meet the needs of the modern workforce and also focus on long-term supports, which continues to be the underfunded phase of supported employment. By building awareness of the necessity of this phase and its potential to contribute to advancement in competitive integrated employment, success in non-traditional employment sectors, and employer awareness of the benefits of hiring. Topic 4 has an advisory panel that will support the planning, development, and implementation of training and TA activities. The advisory panel consists of a parent and entrepreneur, a community rehab program manager, and an individual who has received employment services. Here's a list of the products and services that will be complete by year 5 for topic study 4. The products include a toolkit for employers on best practices for hiring individuals with disabilities, a toolkit for VR professionals on building community partnerships, networking with employers and demonstrating benefits of partnering with VR agencies, toolkits for service providers, educators, and VR professionals for preparing and supporting a 21st century workforce. The services will include building the capacity of VR and employment professionals to support individuals with IDD and employers, dual customer engagement, and support VR and employment professionals to build lasting and beneficial relationships with employers. Topic Study 4's Year 1 activities include a study-wide needs assessment, employer focus groups, so we can hear directly from employers on their experiences with hiring individuals with disabilities. This will help with content creation for the toolkits and development of a manual that is targeted directly for vocational rehabilitation professionals. Thank you for listening to this webcast about Topic Study 4. The contents of this presentation were funded by the U.S. Department of Education, Rehabilitation Services Administration. The ideas, opinions, and conclusions expressed do not represent recommendations, endorsements, or policies of the U.S. Department of Education.